Okay, let's talk about bad news. We have a 3 times crash coming up. But what else is coming down is this.
Buckle up, because Robert Kiyosaki is sounding the alarm. In his final warning, he reveals the imminent collapse of the financial bubble. Don't miss out on this eye-opening video that could change your financial future forever. You express frustration and skepticism towards financial experts who lack experience and knowledge of the 2008 financial crisis. Robert Kiyosaki emphasizes the importance of considering the age and experience of advisors when seeking financial advice, suggesting that many young experts have only experienced a bull market and may not be prepared for potential downturns or market volatility. Robert Kiyosaki points out that after the 2008 crisis, many investors relied on formulas and strategies that were successful in the post-crisis period. However, they caution that these approaches may not be applicable in the current market conditions. They specifically mention the popularized 60-40 investment mix, which advocates allocating 60% to bonds and 40% to stocks. Robert Kiyosaki highlights the significance of the bond market, which is much larger than the stock market and plays a crucial role in the global economy. They suggest that unthinkingly following this mix without considering the prevailing economic circumstances could lead to suboptimal investment decisions. Another aspect Robert Kiyosaki critiques is the traditional notion of saving money in dollars. They argue that saving in a devaluing currency becomes less beneficial with continuous money printing and rising inflation. They emphasize the need to stay informed and adaptable, since markets and circumstances can change rapidly. This viewpoint encourages individuals to consider alternative stores of value or investments that may offer protection against inflation. This also touches upon the generational gap in investment approaches. Younger investors are portrayed as favoring euphoric trends and relying on well-known figures like Warren Buffett, while disregarding technical analysis. Robert Kiyosaki challenges the notion of unthinkingly following the buy and hold strategy advocated by Buffett, and suggests that incorporating advanced technical analysis can provide valuable insights into market trends and behaviors. Robert Kiyosaki briefly mentions the risky trading strategy of shorting, which involves selling assets with the expectation of buying them back at a lower price. They admit to attempting this strategy but caution against it due to its high-risk nature. They stress the importance of education and understanding before engaging in such speculative activities. Furthermore, Robert Kiyosaki shares their personal investment preferences, including real estate, gold, and oil wells. They express concerns about inflation and anticipate potential rises in food prices due to the increasing costs of natural gas and oil, disregarding the perspective of those who prioritize environmental concerns over economic stability. Robert Kiyosaki expresses their potential personal investment preferences, which include real estate, gold, and oil wells. They believe that these assets can protect against inflation and potential economic instability. Additionally, Robert Kiyosaki criticizes political figures like Janet Yellen for focusing on global warming while seemingly overlooking other pressing economic issues, such as inflation and the national debt. They convey a sense of dissatisfaction with the current political climate and decision-making. It is important to note that this does not provide detailed arguments or evidence to support Robert Kiyosaki's views on investment preferences or political criticism. Robert Kiyosaki's statements about investment choices seem to be based on personal experiences and beliefs rather than comprehensive analysis or data. Economic stability and environmental sustainability are complex issues that often require careful balancing and consideration of multiple factors. Understanding the interconnectedness of these issues and seeking a comprehensive approach that addresses economic and environmental concerns is essential for informed decision-making. Economic instability and the gold standard. Robert Kiyosaki reflects on their personal experiences during economic instability, specifically recalling the volatility in food prices caused by rapid inflation. They credit their understanding of the situation to their rich dad, who warned them about the consequences of the US dollar being detached from the gold standard in 1971. According to Kiyosaki, the decision resulted in a significant change in the monetary system, leading to the devaluation of money and an increase in inflation. By decoupling the dollar from gold, the government had more freedom to print money, which contributed to the rising inflation rates experienced during that time. Recession and depression. Robert Kiyosaki suggests that the current economic climate is trending towards a recession and warns of the potential for depression. They express concerns about the adverse effects these economic downturns can have on individuals and the economy as a whole. Furthermore, Kiyosaki criticizes political figures like Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, claiming that they may contribute to worsening economic conditions due to what they perceive as uncertain agendas. It is important to note that these are the viewpoints of Robert Kiyosaki and may not align with widely accepted economic analysis. Tangible assets as a defense. Robert Kiyosaki prefers tangible assets like real estate, gold, and oil wells to defend against economic instability. This preference likely stems from the belief that these assets have historically shown resilience during economic uncertainty. Real estate, for example, is seen as a tangible and tangible investment that can provide income and potential appreciation. Gold is often considered a safe haven asset, as it has been a store of value for centuries. Oil wells, as a form of investment in the energy sector, can be seen as a hedge against inflation and rising energy costs. Criticism of political figures and handling of immigration. Robert Kiyosaki expresses frustration with the handling of immigration issues at the border. They do not provide specific details about the nature of this frustration or the specific policies they find problematic. It is worth noting that political criticism is common in public discourse and individual perspectives can vary widely. To gain a deeper understanding of specific policies, it is essential to examine a range of viewpoints, consider evidence and data, and engage in informed discussions. The 2008 financial crisis. Additionally, the collapse of the repo market played a role in the crisis. The repo market is where financial institutions borrow and lend short-term funds. The sudden loss of confidence in the market led to a liquidity squeeze, exacerbating the crisis. Robert Kiyosaki warns of potential vulnerabilities in the financial system and criticizes the Federal Reserve's handling of these issues. However, it's important to consider multiple perspectives and expert analysis for a comprehensive understanding. Economic outlook. Robert Kiyosaki suggests that the current economic climate is pointing towards a recession, with the potential for depression. They express concerns that these economic downturns will negatively affect many people. It is important to note that economic predictions are complex and depend on numerous factors, including market conditions, fiscal policies, and global events. While Robert Kiyosaki holds this view, it is important to consider a range of perspectives and expert analysis to form a more comprehensive understanding of the economic landscape. Preference for tangible assets. Invest in tangible assets like real estate, gold, and oil wells to protect against economic instability. These assets are effective in hedging against inflation and rising food prices. However, always tailor investments to individual circumstances and seek the advice of financial professionals. Diversification is key when building a comprehensive investment portfolio. Dismissal of environmental concerns. In expressing their concerns about economic stability, Robert Kiyosaki dismisses environmental concerns. They suggest that economic stability should take precedence over environmental considerations. It is important to recognize that the relationship between economic growth, environmental impact, and sustainability is complex and evolving. Criticism of political figures and immigration handling. This includes criticism of political figures such as Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, Janet Yellen, and Jerome Powell. Robert Kiyosaki expresses frustration with what they perceive as corruption and dishonesty in the country, particularly about economic policies and immigration issues. Criticizing political figures and policies is common in public discourse, reflecting personal beliefs and perspectives. Make sure not to overlook the opportunity to discover Kiyosaki's survival strategies and the essential technique for protecting your wealth, which we will be discussing in our upcoming video. Keep an eye out and do not forget to show your support by liking, sharing, and subscribing to our channel for crucial financial insights. With the bubble on the brink of collapse, will we be sufficiently prepared for the inevitable?